Good morning, Pre-Calculus. Happy Friday. We finally made it through our first official week of virtual school with grades. Today is test day. It's the last day of our 5th 6 week. So if you step inside virtual school, we can look at our week at a glance. You guys have been doing really well. Most everybody has been checking in on a daily basis and keeping up with things. A couple of students I'm worried about, but for the most part, we're doing really well. So for Friday, don't forget to do your daily check-in. That is worth 10 points. So make sure you do your daily check-in. Then you're going to go take your polar graph test. If you score above a 75 on the polar graph test, you are done because that will count as your major grade for that test this week. It will also be your retest grade for the first test of the semester or of the 6 weeks, the conic sections test, if you needed to take a retest for that one. So again, if you score above a 75 on the polar test, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. If you do not score above a 75, then you have the option to retake the polar test, just like you would be able to take a retest for any test. So you get 2 more shots at the polar test to bring that grade up to a 75, and that will be your retest grade for the polar test. Also, if it outscores your conic section test up to a 75, I'll replace your conic sections test with your polar retest grade. Now, if you're not able to get your polar test grade up to a 75, you can also go take the conic sections retest, again, up to 2 times to try to get that grade up to a 75 or higher than your polar test. Now, if you score higher on your conic section retest than you did on your polar retest, that grade does not go back and become your retest for the polar test, but it will bring up your retest grade for the conic sections test. So far, everybody's really been doing really well on the polar test. I really don't see that you guys are going to have much of a problem. So that is good. This is what it looks like. I'm going to put the welcome video right here in 4.3. Here's your check-in survey if you need it. The first test that you will see, well, here's your check-in form. Again, here's the link if you need it. And then your first test is the polar curve test. I tell you here that there's 20 questions. If you score above a 75, you're good, and I explained that. Now, be careful. A couple people weren't paying attention. You do get one question at a time. You do not lock questions after answering yes means once you've answered the question, you cannot go back and change that question. So make sure that there's plenty of time. These are not hard questions. It's mostly just matching equations to graphs or equations to descriptions of the graph. So make sure that you spend enough time on each one and you look at all the fine details before you move on. Some people got a little caught up by that. I'm looking at some of this fun stuff. Maybe I'll require a webcam next time. Just know that I can watch your movement while you take your quiz. By that I mean, if you leave the quiz page to go to, say, I don't know, some other math page that's going to answer the question for you, I can see that you've done that. Outside of that, you guys are great. Take your test today and then just let it relax. Now, what happens if you're a little bit behind and you don't get your test taken today? It's okay. Everything, if it doesn't happen today, as long as you get in there by Sunday, I can update the grade book. Keep in mind, grades are due on Monday at 9 a.m. So Sunday is going to be the last day that you can get stuff in. The sooner you get stuff in, the sooner I can get your grades updated and you can see where you're at for the 6 weeks. But if you're a little behind, just take a deep breath, get as much as you can done today, and get onto these tests as quickly as you can. I hope you guys had a great second week of virtual school, first week of virtual school with grades. I hope it's still going well for you. I hope you have a great weekend. I know there's not a lot to do when we're locked up in our houses, but I hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy. I really miss you guys, and I really miss getting to teach you on a daily basis. I will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend.